We will be hearing a lot from Republicans tonight, so we thought to give the first word to a Democrat. Congressman Paul Tonko, a Democrat representing upstate New York, joins us for the first word. Sir, Republicans will say this convention was a resounding success. What did you learn about the GOP this week?
You know, John, I'm kind of disappointed because I was hoping there would be a definition to their message. It has been, to this point in the campaign, a lot of criticizing of our president. And I think the country is looking for solutions. They're tired of hearing about tearing down. They want lifting up. They want that positive reinforcement. They want definition. What are your solutions? We all know there's still problems that exist from the failed policies of the past that drove into a deep recession. They want to know about what you're going to do. And I think so far, you know, the speeches have been about tearing down the president. And last night, the vice presidential candidate offered a lot of vitriolic statements with false attacks that have already been answered. They've been challenged and answered in the past. They continue to want to distort some of the programmatic efforts of this president.
Yeah, fact checkers have been having a field day with some of the primetime speakers, but if the factual errors go over the head of the average American voter, how much does that matter?
Well, you know, I think that there are going to be those challenges that are out there. People will keep messaging on them. You can't talk about, you know, the fact that we took and removed excessive profits away from the insurance companies in order to provide services in Medicare for seniors. You can't call that a cut to Medicare when it was a cut to the service provider that was getting extraordinary profit-driven at the expense of taxpayer dollars. They don't want to characterize their comments with truth. They rather do vitriolic approaches that are false attacks, and they avoid the substance. So we just keep nailing them on that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how will Democrats counter the messages heard this week, mostly that Obama is weak on the economy?
Well, you know, when he was handed an 8.2 million jobs loss as a starting point, and then was able to come up with well over 4 million jobs grown in the private sector, that's accomplishment. It may not be where we want to be totally, but it's telling people we're on a steady climb upward. Stay the course. Don't give them back the keys to the car that they drove to the ditch. That would be the worst possible outcome. They want this trickle-down. They want the top-down economy with the trickle-down. It didn't work in our past. It's not going to work again, and we've had a steady climb forward. You know, it's interesting because candidate Romney, Governor Romney, was touting himself as a leader in the private sector, as corporate buyout specialties are why we should elect a president. Well, when people got to understand more about the Bain Capital situation, where we loaded companies up with debt and drove them into bankruptcy and then got rid of several American jobs, they walked away from it. The public walked away. We exposed that. We also exposed his track record as a governor. They said, well, elect us because I'm the former chief exec of a state. And he gave away tax breaks to the wealthy, gutted investments for economic development, and we saw Massachusetts drop to 47th out of 50 states in job creation. And the same was true with their Medicare plan. When they touted a major reform, and we found seniors had to dig deeper into their pockets. They walked away from that. They keep flip-flopping on how to define themselves. They haven't done it. And in the meantime, all they can come up with is this attack. They're losing their credibility, and we have to keep pointing that out to the public.
Congressman Paul Tonko, representing upstate New York, the Democrats. Sir, thank you so much for calling up and having the first word tonight. If you would like to have the first word one night, email the call at NY1.com.